yeah, I'm just gonna be playing some ladder. I'm rank 5 right now, past the point where you can like benefit from win streaks. So this is I guess like the slow grind to actually making legend if I actually have enough time to do that. Um, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't had that much time to play this game lately. So we're playing Warrior right now, and Warrior is one of the matchups where Noitron is great. You definitely don't want the Mirror Entity. You just never keep that card because it's terrible to draw. And then I think Mad Scientist might be good enough that it's worth keeping 2 of them, especially given that we know we won't be drawing this Mirror Entity. Having 2 of them is really awkward because you can't actually like play both of them because you only have 1 secret in your deck. So I'm like inclined to mulligan it, but I think it's fine to keep it just because it's really hard for Warrior to like profitably clear this card and then get rid of the secret. Like they have to like, it screws up their curve really badly to interact with this card and then also the secret and effectively. And so yeah, this hand is fine. It's pretty good against most of the things a typical Warrior will do. So now this is actually like an interesting decision whether you start with Mad Scientist or Cogmaster. I think because yeah, in either case it's going to make it so you don't have a great play next turn. I think it's better to just start with the Mad Scientist. Just because just having the 1-drop in hand gives you a bit more flexibility later, and I don't think that the 3-power creature is going to add very much. Is it going to be like really that much better than the 2/2 here? And if he plays like a weapon, I'd much rather him kill this. Like he's not like super incentivized to kill this thing. And so now also I have another interesting decision as to whether I play the Snow Chugger or the Annoytron to sort of protect my Snow Chugger from an axe. I think if he had an axe, he would probably have killed this. I'm certainly attacking him. Just because it sets him up to like clear the secret in an efficient way with like an Armor Smith or a Cruel Taskmaster. And so I think it's unlikely that he has one, so I want to get this down before he can Death Spite. This is like a bit greedy, but probably fine. In any case, even if he axes this turn, it's going to like mess up his curve regarding Death Spite for a while onward. Alright, so that card's pretty annoying. And this is where it's kind of nice to have the Cogmaster, because I think what I want to do here is fight with the Scientist, ping it, and then just hit him in the face, because that gets the secret up, and then means that he can't weapon anything. And there isn't really any great way to clear this from this spot. So I think, yeah, I just want to do this. And this is like fine. There's nothing really he plays next turn other than Death Spite. You could play like a Piloted Sky Golem. That would probably be the most annoying card, but oh, so this is the thing that's with Grim Patrons that I was like, yeah, so he's basically trying to play a Warsong Commander and then just the millions of things, and he doesn't really do anything up until that point. So I basically just want to kill him as soon as possible. He has lots of things that just deal 1 damage to everything. And so I don't really expect this Clockwork Gnome to live a particularly happy life, but it's still worth playing. It's not really going to do anything better at any point in this game, just because I already have this cheap mech if I need it. Yeah, so yeah, that turn I'm just playing the most like amount of power from my hand as possible. So this turn is kind of tough for him because he can't really do anything, right? He can't play weapons, and he doesn't really have any great creatures he can play into this Mirror Entity. Okay, so It gives me an Acolyte of Pain. What's his plan here? Okay. Yeah, so the Clockwork Gnome is dead. And he's played Whirlwind when I have an Acolyte, which is decent for me. And then another Whirlwind, okay. I guess. Alright, so he gets rid of the Snow Chugger here, which is probably solid for him, but not really anything interesting. So I want to get rid of this to protect my Neutron. I'm definitely going to Neutron this turn to keep him from weaponing, because that's like the one thing his deck does that matters, and I want to do it first so I draw my card before I make any decisions, even though my play is almost like 100% going to be maybe I want to play this Clockwork Gnome actually, just so I can get the Scientist down instead of this Spider Tank. I was going to say I was almost certainly going to Neutron Spider Tank just to add power to the board, but this adds like, even if this is like a slightly more vulnerable card, he's already used both Whirlwinds, so he just has like Cruel Taskmasters in addition to like the Deathspite that kind of make this problematic. And I kind of think that the Mad Scientist, just to get the secret out of my deck and to just bother him a bit, is the best option. I get an additional power this way, and I get the option to cash this in to thin my deck and force him to play around another mirror entity. So now he has to Deathspite my Neutron, and this is obviously like great for me. This is like one of the reasons why a Neutron is in the deck. And so now he's going to take 9 damage out of a Fireball and an Azure Drake. So this game's going pretty well for me. So now the question is what I want to play here. So next turn he can potentially do something interesting with like, not yet, right? He can't do anything with Grim Patron and Warsong Commander just yet. So I just want to like maximize damage. So okay, I'm certainly attacking his face. I don't have any other alternatives. So now the question is whether I want to play Azure Drake to draw a card or play Pilot Shredder and ping his face. They add the same amount of power to the board. Pilot Shredder adds a damage this turn. Drake probably adds a damage next turn, but Pilot Shredder is like a bit stickier. So I think it's worth just doing this. And so yeah, so a note on placement. You want to play the Pilot Shredder in the middle, because in the middle of like, basically you just want to assume that this card is Direwolf Alpha or Flame Tongue Totem, because those are the only things that could come out of this that affect your positioning. So when you have Pilot Shredder in your deck, you just want to assume that it's basically one of those cards, and play all of your minions with the assumption that that card's in your deck and that will come out of Pilot Shredder, because like nothing else will punish you, and those things will like reward you for playing that way. And so okay, so he's doing something interesting with Warsong Commander. Interesting-ish. I mean, I'm not totally sure what he's hoping to accomplish here. So he has one more attack with this thing, which, okay, I guess it trades here and then he fights here. Okay, no, it fights there. And I get that, and now it's hard to imagine how he doesn't die this turn if he has like an execute for this thing. I guess that's okay. Inner Rage for that thing. Cool. All right. Well, he's not just dead, right? No, he's just dead. Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I could have just traded in here, and I don't think he was realistically ever winning this game anyway. But all right. Yeah, so that's a reasonable demonstration of why this deck is good to play right now. My opponent just didn't do anything, and then he died to my creatures.